I don't really talk about that summer much. Mostly because it still lives somewhere inside me, like a bruise you can't see, but you feel every time life presses on it. But I guess at some point you stop running from the things that shaped you, and you start telling the truth about them. My name is Daniel Wright, and this is the story of the last time I ever saw my father as a hero, and the first time I realized he wasn't one. I grew up in a small American town, one of those places where everyone knows your business, where rumors travel faster than news, and where people love to smile at you in public and whisper about you the second you walk away. My dad was the local war hero. At least that's what everyone liked to say. He'd served overseas, came back with medals, came back with scars, came back with a broken leg, and something darker no doctor could fix. He didn't talk about the war. He didn't talk about anything, actually, unless he'd been drinking. And oh, trust me, he drank a lot. My mom left when I was 8. People like to ask why. They always assume she was selfish. But now, older me understands. Sometimes leaving isn't weakness. Sometimes it's survival. She didn't take me with her. That hurt the worst. But later in life, I understood that too. Court sided with the hero. She didn't have a chance. So it was just me and him. Me and the man who used to be my dad. But I wasn't completely alone. I had my Aunt Mary. My aunt was small, round like a warm hug, always dressed in floral aprons and sunlight, with a laugh that sounded like safety. When life with my dad got too loud, I was the quiet I could breathe in. Her house smelled like bread, sugar, fabric softener, and love. Real love, the kind that doesn't hurt afterwards. She didn't have kids. The world says God gives children where they belong. Personally, I think God put her in my life instead, and I was the kid meant for her. That summer, Dad dropped me off without a smile, without a hug, without a "be good, son." Just, "I'll pick him up when I feel like it." And he drove away. Aunt Mary hugged me so tight I could feel my bones relax. "You're safe here," she whispered. God, I wish that had stayed true. Her house was full of little things, old pictures, wooden spoons, cross-stitch sayings about blessings, and a cat. She loved that cat. His name was Milo. Yellow eyes, gray fur, too smart for his own good, and patient, so patient. Like he understood everything. That cat was my friend before I even realized I needed one. That day started simple. Cookies, laughter, stories about when my dad was young, back when he was still someone worth loving. But even in happiness, grief hides. Right in the middle of talking, her voice broke. Just a second, barely noticeable, but I saw it. She missed her uncle. He died years ago. Lung cancer. Quiet man. Strong hands. Gentle heart. We never talked about him much because loving him hurt too much. Later, she went quiet. Started humming an old song like she always did when pain got heavy. You could tell. Pain has a sound, even when it hides behind humming. That's when I did something stupid. And I wish I could say I didn't know better. But I did. I just didn't think. Someone had once told me cats always land on their feet. And well, boys are curious. Dumb, reckless, restless curiosity. I climbed, grabbed Milo, dropped him from high. He did land on his feet, but not before claws flashed through panic. I didn't even feel the cut at first, just saw red drip down my hand. Suddenly, the room didn't feel playful anymore. It felt small, sharp, wrong. I screamed, not because of pain, but because of fear. Aunt Mary ran faster than I thought she could. She held my hand, pressed cloth to it, kissed my forehead, told me everything would be okay. She didn't yell, didn't shame, didn't say, "What were you thinking?" She just loved. That was the last peaceful moment in that house, because my father came back. And unlike most storms, you can hear this one before it hits. Heavy steps, angry breathing, alcohol before breath, rage before words. He walked in, saw blood, saw me, didn't ask how, didn't ask why, didn't ask if I was okay. No, he exploded. He grabbed a bottle, drank like anger needed fuel, and slammed it down so hard I thought it would shatter. His face twisted into someone I didn't recognize. But I knew one thing. This wasn't my dad. He wasn't there anymore. He started screaming, not words that made sense, just hurt, turned into fury, turned into violence, spit flying from his mouth as he roared threats to kill, to destroy, to punish something, someone, anyone. He reached for a knife. And in that moment, the world stopped breathing. I didn't see a father. I saw a monster wrapped in broken memories and whiskey. Aunt Mary stepped in front of me, tiny, shaking, but unmovable. "Stop," she whispered, her voice trembling, but braver than anyone I'd ever known. He didn't stop. His hands shook so hard his body couldn't even keep up with his rage. His face went pale, his eyes rolled, and right there, mid-roar, he collapsed, convulsing, foaming, breaking, dying. I was a child, watching my father fall, while the woman who loved me like a son held him and held me and cried between us, like she was trying to hold the world together. And I broke. Not because I was scared, but because for the first time I begged God not to take him, even though he scared me, because he was still my dad, the one I wished still existed. He lived. They said it was a seizure, stress, alcohol, trauma, everything he never dealt with. He never said thank you. He never apologized. He never changed. But I did. That day, a boy died, and something else grew in his place. Years passed, therapy, distance, pain learning to stop owning me. I no longer worshipped the idea of a father who never existed. I stopped bleeding for a man who never stopped cutting. I stopped loving people who only knew how to break me. And here's where people expect revenge, some fiery ending, some grand punishment. But real healing, it looked like walking away. I didn't destroy him, life already had. I just stopped letting his wounds become mine. I built a life, slow, messy, real. Today, my father lives alone, old, bitter, still angry at a world he refused to face. And I visit Aunt Mary every week, bake bread with her, fix old porch rails, drink tea, love her cat, hold the hands that once held me when I thought I'd lose everything. And every Christmas, I light a candle, not for him, for me, for that scared little boy who survived a father and learned what love really looks like. I wasn't the son my father wanted, but I became the man he never could. And that will always be enough.